Hi, welcome to my channel. In this video, we will discuss what constitutes waste. Why do we reduce our waste? And what is a zero waste lifestyle? I hope you will like it. So let's get started. What is waste? Waste is any unwanted or unuseful material. These are objects that have been discarded since these materials aren't functioning anymore. Waste can be in any form, liquid, solid, or gas, although generally, waste is solid. There are various types of waste like unwanted food, torn clothes, kitchen waste, etc. Types of waste. Municipal wastes. Municipal waste commonly consist of items we use every day and then dump them. Clothes, paints, wires, glasses, unwanted food, etc. come under municipal waste. This waste comes from schools, offices, and factories but primarily from our homes. Hazardous wastes. Hazardous waste refers to solid, liquid, or gaseous wastes from industries that have either of the properties: corrosiveness, ignitability, reactivity, toxicity. Biomedical waste. Any waste coming from medical facilities such as hospitals, medical colleges, research centers, etc. come under biomedical waste. Waste materials can be classified as biodegradable and non-biodegradable. Biodegradable wastes are such waste materials that can be degraded by natural factors like microbes, example, bacteria, fungi, and a few more, and abiotic elements like temperature, UV, oxygen, etc. Some examples of such waste are food waste, garden waste, dead animals and plants, or any other natural waste. Microorganisms and other abiotic factors together break down complex substances into simpler organic matter, which eventually suspend and fade into the soil. The whole process is natural, which can be rapid or slow. Waste that cannot be decomposed by biological processes is known as non-biodegradable waste. Most of the inorganic waste is non-biodegradable. Some examples of such waste are glass, metal, plastic, waste, hazardous substances, artificial rubber, artificial polymers, etc. Non-biodegradable wastes that can be recycled are known as recyclable waste, and those which cannot be recycled are known as non-recyclable waste. World of waste. Every year we dump a massive 2.12 billion tons of waste. If all this waste was put on trucks, they would go around the world 24 times. This stunning amount of waste is partly because 99% of the stuff we buy is trashed within 6 months. America is the king of trash. Estimates suggest that Americans produce around 4.5 pounds of waste per day, and while the US represents only 4% of the global population, they are responsible for around 12% of the global municipal solid waste figure. According to the latest data from the Environment Protection Agency, in 2018, the average American produced approximately 4.9 pounds of garbage per day. That's up from 4.5 pounds a day in 2017 and translates to a yearly total of around 292.4 million tons of trash, 23.7 million tons more than 2017, half of which was sent directly to landfills. Almost 94 million tons of that was recycled or composted, equivalent to around 32%. It's no surprise that consumer product packaging materials make up the largest percentages of waste. Paper and paperboard, 23.05%, glass, 4.19%, metals, 8.76%, and plastics, 12.2%. The next best alternative to proper recycling methods is creating no waste in the first place. Living waste-free with a zero-waste lifestyle saves resources and protects the environment. Global waste generation, statistics and facts. Waste generation has increased massively around the world in recent decades, and there are no signs of it slowing down. By 2050, worldwide municipal solid waste generation is expected to have increased by roughly 70% to 3.4 billion metric tons. This is due to several factors, such as population growth, urbanization, and economic growth, as well as consumer shopping habits. Humans produce millions of tons of waste every year, which is increasingly becoming a major issue worldwide. With such immense volumes of waste arising, the need for authorities to provide adequate waste treatment and disposal services has become ever more important. However, less than 20% of waste is recycled each year, with huge quantities still sent to landfill sites. Waste is also often disposed of at hazardous open dump sites, especially in developing nations. Richer countries produce more waste than poorer countries but typically have better waste management to help deal with these issues. In the right side chart, you can see the projected waste generation, by region, millions of tons per year. Waste trade. Waste trade is the international trade of waste between countries for further treatment, disposal, or recycling. Often, toxic or hazardous wastes are exported by developed countries to developing countries, such as those in the Asia-Pacific. Since 1988, more than 250 million tons of plastic waste has been exported around the world. Due to the unsustainable production and consumption of plastic coupled with limited waste management capacity, countries have been exporting their waste to other countries with lower labor and recovery costs. For years, China was the primary destination for most of the world's plastic waste, and the impacts on its ecosystems, waste workers and other communities were devastating. In January 2018, China's national sword policy effectively stopped imports of plastic waste to the country, and plastic waste exports from the US, Europe, Australia, Japan, and other industrialized economies were diverted to Southeast Asia. Many importing countries are ill-equipped in terms of infrastructure to handle their domestic recycling, let alone that from other regions. Local plastic recyclers end up focusing on recycling easily available imported plastics, instead of developing domestic systems of waste collection and segregation. As dump sites expand and imported plastic waste is increasingly co-incinerated as fuel in cement kilns or other industrial boilers, as opposed to being recycled back into plastic, this severely affects the environmental health, social well-being, and economic development of recipient countries. Top plastic waste trading regions. Primary exporting regions, countries, US, Canada, UK, European Union, Germany, Netherlands, Australia, Japan. Primary importing countries, Malaysia, Indonesia, Turkey, Vietnam, Hong Kong, India, Thailand, Mexico. Why zero waste is important? 40% of the lakes in America are too polluted for fishing, swimming, or normal aquatic life. 150 million metric tons of plastic circulate the ocean, with 8 million tons added each year. The ocean is the planet's largest carbon sink, and it stabilizes global climates. Plastic shopping bags average about 12 minutes of use before being discarded. Each plastic bag can take 500 to 1000 years to decompose in a landfill. The Amazon rainforest provides 20% of the planet's oxygen. A single rainforest in Peru contains more species of birds than in the entire United States. The world's forests are home to 80% of the planet's terrestrial wildlife. 15 billion trees are chopped down every year for human consumption. Coral reefs support 25% of all marine species despite covering just 1% of the ocean floor. 75% of the planet's coral reefs currently face an existential threat, largely due to marine pollution.
You can imagine it's just a depression in which we are putting waste. So what happens to all that waste? All this enters our groundwater, it pollutes our air, it pollutes the land. You earn more and more, as your economy booms, you are definitely going to buy more stuff, and it's no rocket science to say that as you buy more stuff, you're going to waste more stuff, you're going to throw away more stuff. So that is the challenge of a young developing India today.
Landfill. It's no secret that the earth has a waste problem. Whatever we can't reuse, recycle, or compost goes into the trash can, and ends up in a landfill. The biggest landfill in the world is located in Las Vegas, Nevada. Currently, the Apex Regional Landfill covers approximately 2,200 acres of land. The landfill holds approximately 50 million tons of waste and is projected to have a lifetime of about 250 years. What is a landfill? A landfill is a site where refuse and other waste materials are disposed of by burying and covering them with soil, especially as a method of filling in or extending usable land. There are 4 different types of landfills, including municipal solid waste, hazardous waste, industrial waste, and green waste landfills. Landfills are often located in designated locations and are operated and monitored to ensure that they comply with federal rules and regulations. And even though there are monitoring systems that help check for any signs of landfill gas and groundwater contamination, landfills are still a problem to the environment. Here are the largest landfills in the world, and their location, based on acres. Apex Regional, Las Vegas, United States, 2,200 acres. Bordo Poniente, Mexico City, Mexico, 927 acres. Laogang, Shanghai, China, 830 acres. Malagrota, Rome, Italy, 680 acres. Puente Hills, Los Angeles, United States, 630 acres. Sudokwan, Incheon, South Korea, 570 acres. Delhi Landfills, India, 500 acres. Donar, Mumbai, India, 326 acres. Westmew Territories, China, Hong Kong, 272 acres. Xinfeng, Guangzhou, China, 227 acres. Why are landfills bad for the environment? Landfills cause pollution by releasing toxins that harm soil, oceans, plants, and animals. Besides the ugliness of landfill sites, landfills still have a significant impact on the environment. The key environmental concerns include greenhouse gases, toxins, and leachate. Greenhouse gas. Greenhouse gas production is the most pressing environmental threat caused by landfills. As an organic mass in a landfill decomposes, it releases methane alongside carbon dioxide. Methane released in a landfill is huge enough to even fuel a power plant. Methane is a potent greenhouse gas and a great contributor to climate change. Toxins. Different waste materials end up in landfills, and some of them contain toxic substances. For instance, electronic waste such as televisions, phones, and computers contain various hazardous substances such as mercury, cadmium, acids, and arsenic. These toxins leach into the soil and groundwater and cause environmental hazards over time. Leachate. Leachate is a liquid formed when landfill waste breaks down and water filters through the waste. The resulting liquid is very toxic because landfill waste contains a vast quantity of harmful substances that can pollute waterways, land, and groundwater. We live in a disposable society. We live in an age where everything gets thrown away. From disposable cameras to disposable diapers, few products marketed to consumers are made to last. But what many consumers don't realize is that this throwaway world was largely made by design. Manufacturers call it planned obsolescence. This trend affects not only your pocketbook but also the environment. Too often, we can get into the habit of using more than we need to. We buy, we use, and we throw away. Using throwaway materials not only guarantees a repurchase of the same item, but the cost savings also end up being a pure profit for the manufacturer. The lifestyle of abundance has great costs for your wallet as well as the environment. Buying durable goods, recycling goods, and green living are a few steps you can take to combat this lifestyle. What is a zero-waste lifestyle? A zero-waste lifestyle isn't simply about eating clean and purging your plastic belongings. It involves adopting a more thoughtful, minimalistic approach to living. Zero waste is a lifestyle that aims to reduce the amount of waste you produce. In order to live a zero-waste lifestyle, it's important to understand what constitutes waste and how to avoid producing any in the first place. The key principles of zero waste include reducing, reusing, and recycling. The definition of zero waste according to the Zero Waste International Alliance is as follows: zero waste, the conservation of all resources by means of responsible production, consumption, reuse, and recovery of products, packaging, and materials without burning and with no discharges to land, water, or air that threaten the environment or human health. What are the zero waste principles? The zero waste principles include 3 underlying obligations that target different sections of society: producer responsibility, political responsibility, community responsibility. Each represents a specific stage of the waste stream. Producers are at the front end, and they must take responsibility for product design and manufacturing. The community sits at the back end, taking responsibility for consumption and disposal. In between, political responsibility must bridge the gap between community and producer, promoting both environmental and human health while enforcing new laws designed to promote the zero waste principles. Thanks for watching. If you like the video, please subscribe to my channel and share the video. Also, you can watch part 2 of this video.